Yeah. Yes, but whereabouts? I don't mean which river, I mean which mortuary.
On duty, madam. Which one?
Fine.
Yes, I appreciate it's the same time of day, madam, but... Bob! Could you hang on, please, madam?
What's up?
For you.
We'll get someone along straight away.
So she spoke to you, Mrs. Robinson.
Wait,
What?
those sandwiches in here?
Who's cheese and chutney?
Oh, that's all right, then. Yeah, Sergeant Cryer speaking. Can I help you?
Sergeant Cryer, did you do anything about my complaint?
Oh, of course we did, Mrs. Robinson. Yes, we passed your message on. But I think it would be better if you spoke to the council directly.
I spoke to them twice already.
Anyone
Yes.
seen Nick?
No?
Oh. You haven't seen Nick, have you?
Watching Miami Vice. You going up to canteen?
No, I'm looking for Nick.
Well, as you're going upstairs, we'll put this on Galloway's desk.
I'm not going upstairs.
You are now, mate.
Yes, we will, Mrs. Robinson, when the time comes. Thank you. Have we ever prosecuted anyone on this ground under the Smokeless Zone Act?
I don't know offhand. I have to look in the serious crimes book.
Cheers. Anything from me, Bob? No, not as far as I know.
You don't believe that fence, do you?
I don't know.
I mean, who has candlesticks in every room?
He said he was religious.
He's a believer, all right.
In what?
Receiving. And I'm not talking about the word of the Lord.
Boy,
Yeah?
you're in court in half an hour.
Don't panic, Mike. Sergeant Roach about?
He left a note on the desk, sir.
Cheers. Got it all worked out, Jim?
No.
Won't see Sergeant Roach for a while.
Why, where's he gone?
Cat's Dock. You'll have to deal with this one, Carver, from the coroner's office.
But it's the mortuary.
Yeah?
Well, more of a job I would have thought for the uniform branch, sir.
Any suspicious death is down to us. Look, go down there. If it looks iffy, get hold of me straight away, all right?
Ever seen a body when it's come out the river, Jim?
No, why?
Take a plastic bag and a supply of tissues.
All I can tell you is this, Mr. Tyson. The police are interested in one of those boats and in the comings and goings of certain parties. Now, we would consider it very helpful indeed if you would let us use this office as an observation post.
Well, what's it all about?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
Is it serious?
Yes, of course it's serious, Mr. Tyson, or else I wouldn't be here.
Well, is there a law? Do I have to comply with your request?
No, you don't have to help us, Mr. Tyson. All I am saying is that it would make a very good vantage point and you would be assisting the police in their inquiries.
There's no fee?
No, Mr. Tyson, we don't charge you. You'd be assisting us.
I realise that. I mean, does the Metropolitan Police get charged if we offer this facility?
Say again?
Look, I'm not the one to talk to. You'll want the leaseholder. But I can tell you this, he's a tight bugger. You won't get this place for nothing.
Yes, sir.
I want to make a complaint.
What about, sir?
Me?
You, sir?
Yes.
Why, what have you done?
Nothing.
Well, I can't write down something about nothing, can I, sir?
I am not talking about nothing.
What are you talking about, sir?
I am talking about harassment. Bricks and lumps of concrete. They are piling rubbish against the front door. Our walls are painted with insults. My children are bullied. All the time there is this persecution.
Yeah, have you any idea who's behind all this, sir?
Not behind, in front of the door. Trafalgar Building, number 18 Barrel Road. I am making an official complaint.
Yeah, well, once it's down in here, it is official.
It is already in there.
Oh, is it, sir?
Yes, I complained many times. Sometime here, sometime to the council.
Right, sir. 18 Trafalgar Buildings, Barrel Road, yes? Your name, sir?
You write in there. That is all you do.
Your name, please, sir?
A policeman came once, about 2 weeks ago. He was there for 5 minutes. After he left, the situation became worse.
That was hardly expected. I must say, Detective Inspector Galloway, that was quite a performance.
In the circumstances, it was.
In the circumstances, I think you ought to count yourself fortunate the judge didn't send you down for contempt of court.
There was no contempt implied or intended. At least it's negligent.
Those account books are central to the prosecution. How on God's earth could you leave them behind?
How was I to know the judge would want to see all of them today?
But the defence is that he was an honest trader, with books, with ledgers, with accounts.
They're all fake.
Mr. Galloway, it's the judge who's in charge of this case, not you. If he wants all the books, he gets them.
Lucky he was on our side. You think so, do you?
We got an adjournment out of him. Any other judge would have thrown the whole thing out.
And the jury weren't impressed. Well, I think the police didn't produce them because they got something to hide. They'll see for themselves.
I dare say. But now they're suspicious. And you heard what the judge said.
About what?
About the incompetent way this case was being presented. What do you imagine they're all going to think in there when we produce other evidence? What trust do you think they're going to have in our witnesses?
Look, we'll have the ledgers back in an hour, then they will see for themselves.
All right?
You have made a simple trial of a long firm fraud into a major uphill struggle. And what was until 5 minutes ago an open and shut case is now one where the issue is very much in doubt. And when we continue, Detective Inspector, in 1 hour, 20 minutes, with, I trust, everything here that should be here, you'll see precisely what I mean.
A word. We've never been asked to produce all the exhibits, only a selection. Why this time?
Because he's that kind of judge.
Look, this is down to you. You should have asked us to produce all those ledgers at committal. Then we wouldn't be in this mess.
Detective Inspector
Look, I do my job properly. You do yours.
You were pushed and shoved when you went to open the front door, right?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. And now you want a new one?
Yes.
A new front door?
Yes, new everything.
Well, yeah, doorknob hinges, that sort of thing.
Everything. Everything.
You change everything?
Yes.
You want to move?
Yes.
But that's nothing to do with us, sir. This is a police station.
But I am the victim of many-time racial harassment. I am being to the race relations officer, and he's telling me that if I am complaining to you many times, then you are making the recommendation.
Look, let me assure you of one thing, sir. We don't tell the council what to do. If you want to move, you complain directly to the council.
Receiving over.
Receiving over.
Nick, what are you doing?
I'm doing my shopping.
Where?
High Street.
Can you go up to Burnside Road? There's a disturbance in the tobacconist on near the corner.
Going up in smoke, is it?
You better get there quick before they murder each other.
Okay, lads, that's enough. Leave it. Leave it, lads. That's enough. It's over now. Give me a hand, will you? Right, that's enough. I'll do ya! Sarah, ask if I'm 878 receiving over.
Any messages?
On your desk. I thought you were still in court.
Don't. Everything all right for the oboe?
Not having a lot of luck, no.
Why?
Listen, couldn't we use another office?
No, it's got the best vantage point. Why haven't you fixed it up?
Well, for one thing, the lease isn't in Tyson's name.
Who?
Tyson, the guy who runs the place, the guy in the office.
What's that got to do with anything? We don't want to buy the place. We just want a couple of blokes in there.
Yeah, I know, but he's got to get permission from the landlord, so he says.
Look, we haven't got time to mess about with all that. You get hold of the landlord, you sort it out, all right?
All right, then out with it. What happened?
Got to go back.
Why?
Judge went balmy because we didn't have all the ledgers. Solicitor didn't ask for them all. Who do they try and blame?
So, what else is new?
Everything all right?
Yeah.
Having a bit of trouble with the case, I got?
Yes, you could say that. Doing about as well as you're doing with that fella Tyson.
You know, I don't know why they can't wrap some of this bacon in kitchen towel before they serve it.
What for?
Well, to soak off some of the grease, of course.
I thought you liked the grease, Reg.
Yeah, well, I usually do. This stuff's got a funny taste.
I thought you liked funny tastes.
No, I don't.
In fact, I thought you liked all tastes. I didn't think you discriminated against any food.
Oh, dear. You seen Viv?
Yes?
Oh, where is she?
Don't you know?
No, I don't.
You see, this is the trouble with the Federation job. You're missing out on all the juicy bits of gossip.
What juicy bits of gossip? Oh, June, hold on.
Need some petrol.
We got time for that?
Yeah, of course we have.
Come on, you're Italian, aren't you?
It's my parents that are Italian, not me. Anyway, what's that got to do with it?
Well, it's closer, isn't it, than Britain?
It's thousands of miles away.
Ah, yes, but it's a similar temperament, isn't it? Mediterranean, subcontinent.
Look, why don't you ask Patel to
No,
help
he's banged
you,
up in the card room. Please, help me out, girl. He's driving me round the bend.
All right. What you want, sir, is the housing department of the council.
All right?
I don't think he's measuring up, that's all.
Tries hard enough. Just doesn't always go in the right direction, that's all.
Take that mugger at Tower Hill. So? Well, have you seen what he's got pinned up on the office wall? Muggers don't work to a schedule. They're not creatures of habit. You know, 9 to 5, an hour off for lunch.
Writing a paper on this, are you?
They're opportunists. They see their chance and they take it. Smack.
You're just jealous.
Of what?
Jimmy Carver, CID apprentice.
Right! Watch it!
Oh, Christ! Look at that. Why'd you do that?
What are you? Looking to self-destruct?
Why did you slam your brakes on?
I stopped to avoid doing what you've just done, you idiot. Running into the back of a taxi cab.
I didn't just run in the back. You pulled out in front of me. You weren't looking behind you.
Oh, yes, I was, pal.
Bloody taxi drivers are all the same, aren't they?
You red-headed lunatic. You had my passenger on her knees. Why don't you watch where you're going, eh?
Look, you deliberately cut across me and braked.
Of course I deliberately braked. Do you think I pushed the pedals in there out of whimsy? Do you think I'm practicing the foxtrot?
You have me on my hands and knees, you fool!
Can't you see there's traffic?
Look.
I saw you in my mirror.
Look, you were
There's a road
negligent.
here,
I
not a
was
racetrack.
negligent.
You pulled out in front of me.
You were driving too fast, mate. Simple as that.
Nobody's asking you.
He's hold my stockings.
Oh, right, that's it. I'm taking your particulars, mate, and I've got witnesses.
Not me, that's
Witnesses? You call this lot witnesses? You're worse than a mafia, you lot.
Don't do anything silly.
Oh, why not? I mean, why not get a bit of pleasure out of life?
My sentiments entirely. Please.
Oh, nice one. Suppose you're gonna nick me now, are you?
If you like.
What for, scumbag?
Manners. Anything you like. You
Oh,
name
all right,
it,
you
you've got...
start with it.
No. Right, you are Nick now. Breach of the peace.
Bastard. No, come on, over here. Right,
Leave it up.
Right, now, if you don't want any trouble, push off.
I'm not toddling anywhere, mate. You are well out of order.
Fine, you'll be nicked. Obstruction. Right,
we're supposed
get
to...
going. I'll sort this lot
Yes,
out.
but...
You'll be late. Look, the ledgers are on the back seat. Go on.
Oi, your light on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get me up the sessions.
Mike. Not him.
Well, you're not nicking him, are you?
That's not the point.
The point is, I'm going to be late.
Look, this is my son-in-law. He's in the upholstery business. You get in touch with me, he'll get in touch with me if you want me in court,
Oh, yeah,
all right?
all right, yeah,
If you want a couch or
Right,
a chair
now
and stuff,
then.
get in touch with me.
Come
Very
here.
good.
I'm having this cab taken down the Nick. And someone's going to go over it. And if there's anything wrong with it, you'll be off the road for a month, right?
Try it,
You will be
right?
forced to take the test again.
Yes,
Right,
and you,
yeah.
darling, yeah.
Yeah, take
right.
the never took
now,
on the first
let's
place,
pull
did
this
you?
across. Come on,
no,
in there.
you
pull
pull it across.
Yes, 24 hours, 3 shifts. Sorry? Yes, we're in for red cameras. All right, I'll hold on. Where have you been?
Thames Division. There's a man found in the river.
Suicide?
He'd had a severe bang on the side of his head.
Means nothing.
What do you mean?
Well, bodies get banged about in the water, up and down with the tide, caught up in obstacles. Sometimes they get walloped by a ship's propeller. Ah, Mr. Tyson. Yes, I'm still here. Because if we don't have a key, how are we going to lock up when the surveillance is over? Do you want us to walk out and leave the door open? Thank you, Mr. Tyson. I'd have had more cooperation from the Cray twins.
Ted, you ain't got a drink handy, have you?
Well, seeing what you've been through. But don't make a habit of it, all right? Just this once.
Look, Ted, if I have to go to the post-mortem, would you mind standing in for me?
No. You'll have to face it one day. Better sooner than later.
But this one was a real mess. Maybe he banged his head on a bridge support or something before he fell in.
Well, it's not suicide then, is it?
What do you mean?
You see, suicides invariably throw themselves off from the middle of the bridge clean into the water. Otherwise, they might hurt themselves or do themselves an injury. Never mind.
Take him through, will you? Yeah, you'll best get that hand seen to. Yeah.
I just found it a bit messy, that's all. It's got a bit of a shock, you know.
Oh, back again so soon? What is it this time?
Sidetracked.
How's that?
How'd you get on down the mortuary?
Well, it's a bit dodgy. I think you should take a look, Governor.
Good lad. You have to take over, Ted. I'm still on call at court.
Well, if I'm going to go down the mortuary, when am I going to find the time to do this lot?
Ted, please, give me a break. You know what takes priority. You just have to find the time.
One of these days.
They run out of peach pie.
Oh, is that why you took everything else?
No, I never had all that much for breakfast.
Could have fed Arsenal with what you had for breakfast.
Yeah, all right.
Reg,
We think this is as good a time to approach you as any.
and you're the Federation man, so we've got to put it to you.
Put what to me?
The kindergarten facilities.
What kindergarten facilities?
Well, the ones we'd like you to set up here.
What are you two on about?
We want a creche, Reg. We're entitled to one under the new Police Act. Provisions for the use of.
A creche? What is that?
It's a place where you look after preschool children.
Preschool children?
The ones that are the offspring of women police constables. But you've got to keep them somewhere, Reg.
You're not telling me you're,
Pregnant?
Yeah. Are you?
The point is, Reg, whether one of us is or isn't, we have to take the issue up with you.
Yeah, but why me?
As I said to Jack last night, there is no point in us trying for a baby until I've checked with Reg.
Who's Jack?
Well, I took it to be E.J. Lyman because there was a letter in that name in the inside pocket of his jacket. So I went to the address. It's a small house owned by a family named Craddock. They lived there 12 years, but they never heard of E.J. Lyman.
Where's the letter?
Shall I get it?
Bring the rest of the gear in here. I thought I told you to look after him.
I thought Lyman was Frobisher. Who? There was a postcard as well as the letter in his inside pocket.
What, and you mean it was addressed to Frobisher?
Yeah. 193 Durlston Road.
Check it?
There's no such address.
The postcard's dated last January.
But how was this card delivered if 193 Durlston Road doesn't exist?
Well, maybe he was given it to take round and couldn't.
The stamp is cancelled.
And he couldn't send it back to New Zealand because there's no return address.
But then how did the victim get hold of it?
Well, maybe he was a postal worker.
Carver, please. This is complicated enough without you starting. And what's all this about? Auntie June and Uncle Alf, who are they?
No idea.
Are you two having me over here or what?
No.
Have you checked all the other houses in Durlston Road?
Yeah, it's just a short street. Frobisher, Lyman, the name doesn't mean a thing to anyone living there.
What about this? If he was registered at a job centre, they'll have all his details. Have you checked that out yet?
Well, not exactly.
Why not?
Because there's no name on it. Just the address of a gardening centre in Camden Town.
What more do you want? You go to the garden centre first, then the place that sent him, this job centre.
We checked the gardening centre on the phone, Gov. They've never had anyone down from the job centre.
What, never?
No.
You got a copy of a decent photograph of the victim?
Oh, yeah, it's not that he bears much resemblance to him when he was alive.
Right, you take the photo and this back down to the job centre, interview them all, see if anybody remembers him. Yep. Hang on, Carver. Right. Attacking the underpass at Tower Hill. On your way, give us that. Now, what else we got?
Well, there is a sort of suicide note.
When a man surrenders his daydreams, he signs his own death warrant. I wouldn't call that a suicide note, would you?
No, it's not, is it?
Doesn't even make sense, does it?
up there.
Why?
I've no idea.
There's no diversions in operation today, are there?
No.
Well, what's causing all the hold up then?
Maybe it's the other side of the river.
Well, let's see.
Nobody called a cab?
Why?
Because there's about 400 of them outside.
What the bloody hell's going on? Are they moving?
Well, yeah, but very slowly. It's like a massive traffic jam.
I don't see why we're getting taxis round here. We're on the road to nowhere.
Oh, you know what cab drivers are like. They're always getting lost. Are there any emergency road repairs today, Alec?
Not been informed of any.
No gas leaks, no water fountains?
No.
What's causing all this snarl up then?
I'm not sure the motor car's here to stay, so we're not building any roads.
It's a lot worse than usual, Sarge.
Yeah, what have you got?
What haven't I got? Started everywhere. Bank Street's jammed, the High Street's packed.
Yeah, you'll run out of adjectives before you run out of roads. What about your end?
Well, there's heavy built up as far as the bridge anyway.
Anything south of the river?
No.
Any accidents?
No.
It seemed to start around a one-way system.
Well, let's go and have a look. Oh, good God.
See what I mean?
Oh, look, he's coming out. Look, get up there and see what's happening at that end, all right? I'll try and stop him. Yeah, all right, all right. Yes, all right. Yes, very clever, very clever. Yes, good morning to you and all.
This is nice for you.
Isn't it nice? All right. Where do you think you're going? Where are you going to go? Yeah, but how are you going to get it? What? Go back up.
Ollie.
Where's this lot going?
Nowhere.
Well, what's the hold-up?
There's no hold-up. Just heavy traffic. Not the investment in the roads, is there, love?
Come on, we never get traffic like this down here. What's going on?
We're on a protest.
Protest?
A drive-in.
Why?
One of your governors was well out of order.
Oh, really? Which one?
Detective Inspector Roy Galloway.
Oh.
Or Colin Galloway, as he's known to some of my brethren.
Yeah, well, you'll have to move.
Oh, we can't. A couple of cabs are broken down in Mid-Street.
Not yet. Not due to break down till 2:30.
Sergeant, they're on some sort of protest, something to do with Galloway.
Still the same thing. Still the attacks. Still the abuse on wife and children.
Where did the incident occur this time, sir?
At home. These things are happening always.
Yes, but was it last night? This morning? Somewhere in between,
All the
perhaps?
time. All the time.
Look, how can it happen all the time? It's just not possible.
Yes. I'll handle this. Now, sir, do you want to make a formal complaint?
Every day I come in to complain.
When did this attack occur?
Which attack?
The one you want to report.
I want to report all of them.
Right, then we'll be here all day.
And another thing that's wrong.
What?
His clothes. None of it fits, not really.
How do you mean?
Take his shoes, for example. They're at least 2 sizes too big. I'd say Lyman was an 8. These are 10s. I don't even see how they stayed on him in the water. And I reckon the trousers were stuffed into him.
Why?
Come and look. They're too long. Far too long.
Some of the gear's got labels on and some hasn't, that's right.
Right. And none of it matches. Rough, cheap material, no label, or the label's been taken out. They're labourers' trousers. Look, there's loops for a belt, but no belt. Fine. But the buttons for the braces are loose, and there's even one missing. So I'd say that whoever wore these trousers wore braces. Well, where are they?
This didn't come cheap.
No.
Does it fit?
As far as I can tell.
So you think he was killed, then they dressed him in this gear?
I think so.
What else doesn't match?
His shirt is far too small. And who'd wear a plaid with a Harris tweed?
Well, we don't all share your sense of fashion, Mike.
No. Poser. And his mother never told him about putting on clean underwear in case he got knocked over by a bus.
We'll be in touch.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Sir. Alec?
All right, Bob.
Cheers. What are you doing here?
Yeah. Did you ever deal with that Indian?
No, I've seen him from time to time. He pops in every other day, doesn't he?
Yeah, what do we do? Recommend to the council that he's rehoused?
Well, I've had the home beat officers of all 3 shifts round there. It's rough. It's the area. It's the same for everybody else. Perhaps we should send Patel round there.
Yeah, some of these people complain just so they can get better accommodation.
Yeah.
Sarge!
What's going on? Hey, come on! Hey, come on! Come on! Hey, come on! Settle down! Come on!
Excuse me, I make a citizen's arrest. You let go of him, sir.
Please, you let go of his arm, please.
You know these little blighters. All right!
Thank you, sir.
Cup of sweet tea, please, love. Are you sure you're all right? You keep your eye on her. Now drink this. There's some sugar in it.
I don't take sugar.
Now, take it easy now. I'll be back in a jiffy. All right?
With one aerosol?
The bonnet and the wing.
And where is it?
They're just around the corner.
Did you?
Who wants his sort of round deer?
All right.
Let him stick to his own part of the world.
How old are you?
This area's all right before his sort came and ruined it.
How old are you?
13.
I don't care if he's underage. I want him prosecuted.
Is this yours?
So what?
Let's keep this in proper perspective, shall we? Why don't you bring your motor car round to our car park, sir, and then we'll get this sorted out.
I want him prosecuted.
Yes, I think we can keep our eye on him, sir. Then we'll get it sorted out. Come on. Through you go. Get you a cup of tea while we're waiting.
Am I arrested?
No, you're being held pending further inquiries.
You seen Viv or June?
No, sorry.
Sarge, you seen Viv or June?
Try next door.
Oh, Viv, you got a few minutes to spare?
Yeah, sure.
There's a young lady being mugged. I think it needs a woman's touch.
The bonnet and a wing. No, not yet. He's bringing it around now. Well, if you want to take out a summons, Mr. Reed, that's up to you. But first, I suggest that you come around and have a look at your son's handiwork.
How you feeling?
All right.
Nasty cut you've got there, eh?
They'll never believe this at work.
He's knifed me, Sarge, deliberately.
I can't charge him with that.
Why not?
Look, lad, these two blacks, they're brothers-in-law, right? Now, listen. It seems they were fighting over the sister of one who's the wife of the other. Do you get me?
Yeah, so?
Well, the chap that's been attacked, he's made a statement. Now, bear in mind, he's the defendant, right? And he says, and the constable grabbed at his arm, and it was as he did this that he was cut.
You sliced me deliberately.
Look, if it was just a question of your word against his, there'd be no problem. But there are two of them, and one attacked the other.
They're lying.
I'm afraid you're going to have to live with this one, Nick. Look.
Don't bother, Sarge.
What's your first name, love?
Nolene.
Unusual. Never heard of it before.
Well, I was born on Christmas Eve.
Oh. So it's Nolene Morris?
Yeah.
Right. I'll ring your office. Come in.
Excuse me, love. Can you spare a minute?
Yeah.
Look, I think you and I ought to cooperate on this. I'll have a word with Sarge, all right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
What's happening?
Well, the oboe's all set to go. Friday night. Do we mind if we have to rearrange the desks ourselves?
Anything else?
Nothing.
What about Lyman?
Nothing there either.
And Mike's at call?
Yep.
I'm off to the area crime meeting.
Listen, Gov, about this Lyman, I mean, there is no point in trying to trace him. He's not our man.
How do you know?
I don't know how those little odd bits got into the inside pocket
Look,
of his jacket,
Ted,
but it's...
I just want you to get on with the job. Have you checked missing persons?
I've done that.
Work back along the river, check the pubs, talk to the landlord, see if anybody saw anything.
I've done that as well. I've been on the blower. They don't know any more than we do.
Well, look, just get out there again and dig about, all right? And you, stop wasting everybody's time down Tower Hill. Well, and don't argue, it just needs more effort.
What did I do wrong?
Don't worry about it, mate. He's beating his head against a brick wall and he wants us to join him.
What do you mean?
There is no way that we're going to get to the bottom of this Lyman murder.
Well, how do you know? We might get a break.
Because it's set up, it's rigged.
What?
It's a conspiracy, a plant.
A plant?
Listen, when you've had my kind of experience in this sort of game...
Are you saying some kind of training exercise?
Training exercise? No, it is not an exercise, except in wasting time. This is some government department or some foreign government or some MI something or other trying to get rid of an embarrassment. There is no way that we're going to find out this man's real identity. No way.
You beat up the bottle.
Don't you be so cheeky. Anyway, that was last night.
Sometimes I think the whole world's a bloody giant traffic jam.
Oh, you'd better get a move on, Taff. It's starting to overflow into here. Excuse me, sir. This is not a car park, you know.
Ah, right. Glad I caught you. Can we have a word?
I'm on my way to a meeting.
This taxi driving, is it worth it?
I think so.
It's very inconvenient, causing a lot of bad feeling. I wonder whether you're sure you wanted to follow it through. You might like to sleep on it, give it some consideration.
I have.
It's another 50-50 road accident, Roy. If it wasn't you, it'd be in the out tray.
Yeah, but why is he locked up?
He's not locked up, sir. I told you that.
He's in a cell, isn't he?
Yes, but it's not locked.
Can he walk out? Huh? Well, go on, answer that.
We're just holding him pending further inquiries, sir. He's not under arrest.
Bloody well hope not. He's probably scared out of his wits. Who's he supposed to have murdered? So why have you locked him up?
It's not locked up, Mr. Reader. See? Come on, lad, your dad's here. This way.
It's Wednesday. I was in the bath. What have you been up to?
Nothing.
Some other law have pulled me down here.
Are you Sergeant Penny?
Yes, sir.
Can't you spell? It's jobs, not gobs.
And wallpaper, Reg. A decent vinyl, you know, something washable. And roller blinds.
Roller blinds?
Well, curtains then. Would you prefer curtains?
No, I wouldn't prefer anything.
How much have we got in the kitty?
I'm not sure. Why?
Well, be nice to have the place carpeted.
Why?
Well, you know what toddlers are like, Reg. They're always falling over, grazing their little knees.
Yeah. You make me take up mugging.
You're welcome to try, Sarge.
Can I help you, sir?
Mr. Hollis, I'm looking for.
Is he expecting you?
Oh, yes, he wants to look at these.
He does?
I hear you're being completely redecorated here, starting with your restroom. Vinyls, washable.
And you want to see Hollis?
Yes.
Reg Hollis?
That's the name I was given.
Who by?
Refurbishment of recreational areas section, Scotland Yard.
Can I, sir? Sarge.
There's a note here.
So you'd say it was part of a pattern, part of a campaign against you?
Certainly.
These two men, sir, had you seen either of them before?
I'm not exactly sure.
We believe they were the same men that continually threw objects at the flat.
Just exactly what is it you've come to report? The attack on Mr. Mukherjee or the incidents at your home?
The incident concerning my husband is more important, of course. But I would just like to ascertain whether you might consider arresting someone.
We are continuing with our inquiries, madam. Now, sir, the incident last night, can you describe exactly what happened?
After work, on my way home, two men came and they stopped me, started abusing me.
Exactly what did they say?
The usual thing.
These louts aren't very literate or inventive. They tend to repeat themselves. Filthy wog, black bastard, that sort of thing.
Thank you, madam.
I tried to move away. They stopped me.
How?
They blocked me. They prevented me.
And you couldn't step around them?
I tried. but they went everywhere I went.
Then what happened?
Then I pulled away. And one man grabbed me.
Where?
Here.
And?
They both followed me, and they grabbed me and they pushed me and shoved me.
Were you injured?
Bruised.
Would you say it was harassment rather than an assault?
What exactly do you mean by harassment?
The dictionary definition is worry, trouble.
To which dictionary are you referring?
The shorter Oxford, madam.
The shorter Oxford also gives us its definition, to attack repeatedly.
Does it, madam?
It seems to me that to physically attack someone, as my husband has just described, comes well within the meaning of the word assault. But while you're defining it, perhaps you would be kind enough to explain to me whether it comes under harassment or assault for the excrement of a dog to be pushed through our letterbox.
Stock exchange.
I'm not for hire.
Why aren't you for hire? He's just got out.
I'm not for hire, mate, that's all.
This is a petition here. I've got over 1,000 signatures, and I'd like to make a formal complaint.
But you're sitting in your taxi.
I'm sitting, I'm driving, but I ain't working.
Well, you ought to be. I don't understand it. There are hundreds of taxis round here, and no one's for hire. I insist you take me to the stock exchange.
Oi, out!
Here. What's the matter with your ears?
Would you mind getting out of my cab?
I insist on my rights. This is a public vehicle.
Now, look. If you don't get out, I'm going to drag you out.
Officer?
All right, come on. Driver? Oh, come on, let's be sensible, eh?
Morning. Not working?
Whose bright idea was this?
Have you had a word with him?
No, Kite has.
The unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
Yeah, which is which?
Roy's unstoppable.
It's the other way round.
Do you know, I've never seen taxi drivers so incensed. They're not a placid bunch at the best of times.
I don't care who's in the right. All I know is this place stinks of diesel.
This lot's got it up to something. All leads nowhere. What did the pathologist say?
Well, the one thing he did say for certain was that the man was dead.
Oh, come on.
No, nothing to add. He was hit once on the head with a very heavy, large object.
With what? Any idea?
I should say that the implement has as much mystery as everything else in this case. It'll probably turn out to be the frozen leg of lamb.
What?
You remember the case where somebody bashed somebody else over the head with a frozen leg of lamb, and then when it thawed out, he had the murder weapon.
Yeah. This bus pass, it's got no photo, it's out of date. Why was he carrying it? And that's the suicide note, here. When a man surrenders his daydreams, he signs his own death warrant. I mean, what's all that about?
Would it help us if we knew?
It might. Let's go over it again. He probably went in the river, this side of Putney Bridge. He either jumped in or fell in accidentally, which seems unlikely, or he was dumped in. But nobody saw him. You checked the pubs along the river, didn't you?
Yep. Nothing. Besides, he had no alcohol in him.
What about his dental records?
Well, you know what the dentists are like.
Yeah, take a couple of weeks.
Now, just listen. I checked with missing persons. Nobody's missed him. And look at these. Theatre ticket stubs. Not one, but 2 tickets. A fortnight ago. And he went to the Barbican a week before he died. Again, 2 tickets. Now, do you get the impression that this was from a lonely man?
We check how those tickets were paid for?
Cash. And what about the cigarettes?
Huh, it's a fag packet. Plenty of people smoke.
Yes, but not R.E.J. Lyman. According to the pathologist, he was a non-smoker.
If it was just a case of Shaw's word against the man's, I'd go for a prosecution without hesitation.
I think you've been unduly influenced because it's 2 men's word against 1 woman.
Well, of course I've been influenced. I've got to think how it's going to look to a jury.
The jury will be told it was a family fight. They'll know these men are lying.
Why?
Of course they will. It's obvious.
It's not obvious at all. And I'll tell you why. They both arrived together. I took a statement right away while he was bleeding.
That proves nothing.
Look, the man comes in here. He's just been badly cut. He sat there on the bench with a towel round his neck, covering a wound that was going to need 12 stitches. And he categorically said that Shaw went for his brother-in-law to get the knife away, and that's how Shaw got injured.
So you've already said...
Well, think about it. The man's just been badly injured. You'd expect he'd grab the opportunity to get his own back.
Come on, Sergeant. You know what these people are like.
I don't have enough to bring a charge.
You do.
Shaw should never have gone above my head anyway.
Trudie! It means you're accusing a constable of lying.
I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just following procedure. I'm telling you, we don't have enough
And
to...
I say we do.
We
You
don't!
Sergeant, I want to make it
No
quite...
jury will find him guilty in the face of a witness, himself a victim, who claims...
I demand you bring a prosecution.
You demand?
No one's going to knife one of my constables and get away with it.
I'm in charge of this office. I decide...
I'm in charge of the station, Sergeant. Or are you forgetting that?
Sure went above my head. I can go above yours.
All right, Jim, all right. I'll take him. I'll take him. You're going to get yourself cleaned up. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyone heard from Dashwood yet?
You two not talking?
He called in half an hour ago, sir.
Got a result?
Guilty as charged, sir.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. Lock this one up, Tom. Jim Carver's prisoner.
Can't do anything without the arresting officer.
What's rattled your cage?
Oh, flying kite as usual. What have you been up to, Seaton?
Knocking Viv around at Tower Hill, and that's just for starters.
Couldn't keep out of trouble, could you? Might have known it'd be you. You're rubbish, do you know that? Good for nothing, good for absolutely nothing.
So you keep telling me you're every other bastard out there. Fit for the scrap heap. That's it. I'm one of the first generation of obsolescent human beings.
You've had your chance, like everybody else.
What chance? I've had nothing, I've got nothing. And there's no way any of you people can scare me anymore. I'm unemployed, can't earn a living, and I've got nowhere to go. So what are you gonna do? Lock me up? I've been locked up. Me and thousands like me. We've got nowhere to go but down!
Look, boy, why not call it an accident and have done with it? Because? What are you going to do? You're going to fight it all the way to the House of Lords?
I might.
Right. Right, so you're in the right. What difference does it make? All those taxi drivers are going to stick together when they get in front of the judge. They're all going to tell them the same story. Look, why don't you back off now before you make a mug of yourself?
You've been talking to Kite?
Why?
Got the same line of patter from him.
Oh, I must be run out of order then.
How do you mean?
Well, the only time I'm right is when Kite disapproves.
Well, you don't want to start thinking like that, Bob. You get paranoid, leads to obsessions.
That's good. Coming from a man who's got 400 cabs outside with their meters down.
Well?
What are we going to do? Blame it on the Tory government?
Oh, what can I get you, Gov? Scotch and soda? Double if you want to worm your way into my favour. Your favour? You don't see it, do you? See what?
He doesn't know what's bugging you. He really doesn't.
Always look after number one, don't you, Mike? What's that supposed to mean? Of all the cabs in the street, why did you have to pick one who was offering himself as a witness? How do you think it made me look?
What choice did I have? They were all offering themselves as witnesses. I mean, the cabs on the rank at Heathrow all offer themselves as witnesses.
That's probably true. But at least they know about loyalty. Pity you don't.
Sir? Sorry, Mr. Brownlow wants you. He says it's urgent.
Cheers. See you, Bob.
Yeah, all right, boy.
Cheers. And don't put that taxi ride down on the expenses sheet.
Same again, Sarge.
Yeah, another bottle of light Elm.
It was his fault anyway.
You are a plonker, Mike, aren't you? You could have walked another 30 yards.
Oh, what was the point?
You want to watch it? Carver will make DI before you make DS.
That mugging result was pure luck.
No, it wasn't. No, he worked for it.
Sarge, can I have a word?
What is it?
It's, well, it's Federation matters.
What happened then?
Penny got me in his office. Told me never to go above his head again. You're in the right state.
Well, what are you going to do now, then, Cop?
Well, what can I do?
Well, he's quite going to leave it there, then what?
I don't know, I suppose so. I mean, getting sliced in broad daylight, it makes you wonder what it's all about, doesn't it?
Come in. All right. Glad I caught you. This is Superintendent Wilkes, Special Branch.
Sir?
The E.J. Lyman inquiry. Drop it, Roy, will you?
Drop it, but we're in the middle of inquiry.
I'm not going to argue with you, Roy. Just leave it.
Look, sir, I don't understand.
It's down to us now, Inspector. Thanks. If you could let me have all the papers.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, sir.
Right, sir?
Well done down at Tower Hill.
Oh, cheers, Gov. Oh, Gov, look, I've had a thought about this E.J. Lyman case.
Don't bother. We're off the job.
What?
I'd stick with the mugging if I were you.
And then he lectured me on how improper it was to bring a baby into this world out of wedlock.
So he said, all right, Reg, we'll have the wedding in the Federation room.
I said, I'm not having a party in there, not with those disgusting coloured walls and filthy blinds.
And that's how we got the decorator into it.
Do you know, I think what really wound Reg up was when we said that it wouldn't be a complete waste of Federation funds because we could always hire the room out afterwards for private functions.
Saturday afternoon and they turn into a load of kids.
They never grow up, do they?
I think you'll sort way better than that this afternoon.
I fucking
You're better, you know.
Sure chance.
We'll go for a drink before we get. Yeah. Where are they going?
Anyway, you want?
You'll be Rob. I'll switch something, yeah. All right.
Oh, no problem.
As soon as your solicitor gets here, we'll arrange an identification parade. All right?
Didn't do it, you know.
You didn't?
Or jumping out on people, scaring the life out of them. Nah.
We're talking about women, Briley. They were pretty nasty assaults.
So you're looking for a nutcase?
Yeah. In that case.
Got any other suspects?
Only you, Danny boy. Only you.
You got the wrong man this time.
You must be mad. Where do you think you're going to get at least 8 people to put out on an identification parade on a Saturday afternoon?
12 would be better, and I'd got no choice.
All right, 12. Couldn't you leave it till Monday morning?
But I had to bring Briley in today.
Well, can you think of something else?
If another woman's attacked over the weekend, I'm right in it, ain't I?
I don't know, Roy Galloway. Time was when people coughed their guts out of you and that was the end of it.
That was before they brought in tape recorders.
You're losing your touch, that's all I can say.
Well, sheep shaggers.
You've got to go.
I've got an appointment.
You've got to go. You'll be their only supporter.
Listen, we'll put a couple of gallons of petrol in your tank if that's what you're worried about. Look, I'm not going and that's it, all right?
Ooh. Come on.
Anyway, look what you've done to my helmet.
Please, can you help me? Please, I've locked myself out of my car.
You locked yourself out of your car? I don't see how we can help you.
Oh, the last time I did it, police were very kind. They had a big bunch of keys, and it only took a couple of seconds.
Not really our problem, madam.
Oh, go on, see what you can do for me. If my husband finds out I've done it again, he'll kill me, please.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Emergency repairs.
Dilly, could you...
Gateway Avenue.
What are you doing now, madam?
Yeah.
Look, you're not doing all this, are you? Spreading rumours.
Then you've got 2 dogs and taxi.
And have you checked the extension under his name?
Investigation Bureau.
I've got a woman who's locked herself out of her car.
Down at police station, can I help you?
One's a mongrel, the other's a bearded collie or something.
Was it in disguise? Is it? Have they been fed?
Ah, we're running out of dog biscuits.
I've got this woman waiting.
Would you like to speak to Sergeant Cryer?
Dinny.
Is here now, sir.
Isn't there anything?
Yes, sir.
I've got an IDs raid on this afternoon.
May I ask what it's about, sir?
Okay, I'll tell you what, you've been off for years.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
12.
None of the early shift to go, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't you start.
Saturday afternoon?
Yes!
I will.
All right, see you.
I thought we might have tools or something.
Why don't we go by bus?
Wouldn't have to worry about parking then, would we?
No. What's the matter with you, anyway?
Nothing.
I don't want no one to leave What? I don't want anyone to leave. I'm not booking anyone off, OK?
Why? A rugby shot.
You heard what I said?
Oh, bugger the rugby. I'm going to have my hair done.
What's all that about, then?
Search me.
The complaints people from the yard are on their way. Chief Super say why? No. He just said no one off the early turn relief to go.
Can it be about, Mark?
No idea.
So serious? What's happening? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what's going on.
You're not alone. Anything untoward happened this morning, Sergeant Penny?
No, nothing. Why?
CIB.
Coming here?
On their way.
Let's have things shipshape. Batten down the hatches, shall we?
Oh, look, this is bloody absurd. I've got an appointment.
You're very fit rugby. We'll never make it now, you know.
You what?
Well, isn't it nice to know my old relief is as cheerful as ever?
Here you are, June.
Oh, Susan, cheers. See you.
Mike, hadn't we better go over the evidence for this Crown Court case on Monday?
Plenty of time.
It was 6 months ago. I can't remember what I did last week, for goodness sake.
You've got notes, haven't you? Any luck? Nothing.
Briley's not living there.
It's his mum's place.
It's the only address I've got.
Well, he's not kipping there.
There's not a dirty shirt in the place, there's nothing.
I'll have to get something more if we want to get this fella sent down.
If he wants bail, then he's going to have to give us his proper address.
Wish we had just that little bit more evidence. Carver, don't go out again, I want you.
I've got a case of Crown Court on Monday, so I've got to go over the evidence.
Plenty of time for that. Any luck?
Not yet.
What are you going to do if he doesn't get picked out?
Haven't reached that stage yet, have we?
Think we jumped in too quick.
I'll make a move sometime.
It weakens our hand if we throw Briley out, then have to bring him in later for the same thing.
This is the fourth victim, for Christ's sake. I've got to do something, Mike. I can't just sit around here waiting for evidence to turn up, can I? Yeah, I want somebody to pick up a witness for me. A Mrs. Bonnie Derwin. Yes, miss.
Inspector Galloway, please.
Who shall I say?
Miss Weeks, duty solicitor.
I bet it's football. Liverpool's playing down here, aren't they?
Yeah, perhaps having some trouble over there.
That's all we need, a load of scousers on our patch.
Sarge, the rumour is that we've been held back to dig over Sergeant Peter's allotment.
I wish you were right, Viv.
Miss Weeks?
Yes.
Inspector Galloway. You're new here, aren't you?
To this area, yes.
This way.
Brief's taking his time, isn't he?
Well, they're a law unto themselves. That reminds me, I need your ring.
Your ring? What for?
Forensic. We'll get it straight bang. Might prove you're innocent, Danny. Come on.
Belonged to me old mate. Come to think of it, it's about the only thing he left me. Except for 3 cases of empty brown ale bottles.
Yeah, well, that's more than my father ever left me.
Tell me, Bob, do we have any skeletons in the cupboard? Skeletons? Not that I know of. Something perhaps that happened before my arrival on this division? This is one you're not going to escape, if that's what you're thinking. If they want everyone held back, I'd say it's criminal. It must have happened this morning.
I don't intend to be dragged into anything.
I don't see how you can avoid that. You are the supervising officer, sir.
They better not have let me down.
Last time, Briley had the gear under his bed. Porno books, dirty letters he'd written the victims. Are you listening?
Sorry, what do you say?
He's not going to make that mistake again, is he?
What, you mean he changes his MO?
Keep your voice down.
The opposition.
Carver, 2 coffees, please.
All right, sir.
Sugar?
No, thanks.
One without.
Convictions.
2 for indecent assault. Then he got a bit more ambitious, more violent. The last one was just short of rape. The victim was lucky.
What about my client's domestic life?
You mean when he's not out attacking women?
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know anything about it. It's the first I've heard.
But it's all round the neck. You can't keep anything like this quiet.
Nobody on my firm knows.
Well, that don't say much for your firm, then, does it?
Jealousy won't get you anywhere.
Listen, Jim. Do you remember that street trader knocking out them cheap tapes on the corner of Market Street? Latest top 40, remember? You told him to get lost.
Oh, yeah, I remember. It was years ago. What's wrong with that?
Well, he backhanded me a couple of tapes afterwards.
You what?
They weren't any good, Jim, honest.
Great. Oh, thanks for telling me now, pal.
Well, they were worst copies I ever heard. I palmed them off onto Nick, glad to get rid. Oh, bloody hell.
Bring the CIB officers straight up to this office when they arrive, will you, Bob?
Right, sir.
Can you enlighten us further, sir?
I don't know anything other than a member of the public's made a serious complaint and it involves your...
And we've got nothing to hide, sir.
Yes, Bob. But you know how thorough these CIB officers are.
They won't find any irregularities in the book, sir.
This is not a VAT swoop or the Inland Revenue coming to call, Inspector Kite. This is Scotland Yard's...
Gestapo?
That remark is totally out of order, Sergeant Cryer.
They're only doing their job, Bob.
And it's the way they go about it I object to.
What are you doing?
I say, how long are you going to be in there?
I can't get bloody top back on, can I? Single man, supposedly lives with his mother.
Address?
2 Champ Hill.
Brevington Estate, isn't it?
Yeah. Relieve Ted. Take Briley to the interview room.
Right, sir.
Occupation.
Plumber's mate.
You want to put him up on an identification parade?
Yeah. For an attack yesterday on Mrs. Bonnie Derwin.
What kind of attack?
You're making a lot of notes.
What kind of attack, Inspector?
Jumped Mrs. Derwin from behind. An alleyway that runs beside the railway station. Grabbed her by the breasts. Tried to pull her into the bushes. She screamed, frightened him off.
Would you like Inspector Kite to leave?
I don't think it'll be necessary, sir. Maybe I ought to save you some time, sir. Certainly prepared to give you all the assistance I can.
Don't you think it's time you told me what this was all about? You have, after all, called me out from home.
Can I see the description Mrs. Derwin gave to you?
Just a fleeting glance. Page 3.
No independent evidence?
Lab boys came up with small traces of a kind of grease on Mrs. Derwin's sweater, region of,
Grease?
Boss White.
Never heard of it.
Quite common in the plumbing trade. Used to repair joints, I'm told.
Quite common, you said?
Low card principle, Miss Weeks. Any contact leaves a trace. I touch you, you touch me. We exchange all manner of molecules.
I've also heard of do-it-yourself shops, Inspector Galloway. I'm sure Boss White would be available to most anybody. I also noticed from the statement that Mrs. Derwin had her spectacles knocked off in the struggle. Identification is an important part of your case, isn't it, Inspector?
This morning...
Between 9 and 10, the time's not certain, you understand?
Yeah, Mr. Roberts from Essex was travelling through the East End.
Heading for Hounslow.
Thank you, Leslie. Somewhere in the East End, which we've traced to somewhere on this manor. Roberts, desperate to spend a penny, abandoned his car on a double yellow line and sprinted across the road to a public toilet.
Possibly 7, Pete. Could be 10, I suppose.
Yeah, we don't have an exact location.
Can we get on?
Yes. When Roberts returned to his car, there was a PC, notebook in hand, taking particulars of the vehicle. Some distance behind his car was a police Panda. In the driving seat, another PC.
Although it may be in a WPC. Roberts is not absolutely clear on this.
Then what happened?
Roberts was duly fined on the spot. Or, to be more precise, the copper pocketed £40.
Looks like you have a couple of bank coppers on your manor, sir.
As I see it, the only evidence you have against my client is some plumber's grease.
Boss White.
Which can be obtained anywhere by any member of the public.
True.
And a fleeting glimpse of a man by an hysterical woman who lost her spectacles in the attack.
An unreliable witness, is that what you're getting at?
And you have to admit the description Mrs. Derwin gives in her statement is not a clear one.
I think it's about time you saw your client, don't you?
This man, Robert, simply paid the money over.
Without a receipt or any paperwork whatsoever.
Quite extraordinary.
Surprising how naive people are about the system.
Quite. Roberts didn't realise that you're served with a fixed penalty ticket for parking, and you pay, usually by cheque, within a specific time at a designated place. Definitely not to a local copper in the street.
Surely he must have had doubts at the time that something was wrong.
Well, he must have preyed on his mind. It wasn't until he arrived at Hounslow that he plucked up enough courage to go into a police station.
Do you have a description of the officer who took the money?
Vague. Possibly when we have a chance to interview Roberts ourselves, we'll be able to obtain a fuller description.
It was imperative we acted quickly before the early turn relief booked off.
Understand.
Roberts will be brought here later to identify the officers.
An identification parade.
How long have you been at this game?
Not long.
Do you have a first name?
Yes.
An identification in a case like this would mean separate parades for each officer.
The Home Office guidelines are very strict where members of a group are suspect. I hope you realise what you're letting yourselves in for.
Well, it may take a little more time than we'd like.
That's an understatement. At least 8 constables on each parade, not connected with the inquiry, all in uniform, all, as far as possible, the same age, height and appearance, a mammoth undertaking.
Allowing for objections, you're talking in the region of 72 or more officers, presumably from other divisions.
It's not impossible.
And 2 of the suspects have moustaches. You can't have one officer on a parade with a moustache and all the others clean-shaven.
Quite.
It'd take weeks to arrange.
If carried out correctly, and I would insist on that.
Not if we had an admission, sir.
I had to fit a new ball cock with a tank in the attic, so this tart showed me upstairs, and I'm not joking. I could see right
Give
up
it a rest, Briley.
Mr. Briley, your solicitor.
She's a bit young, isn't she?
Should we get down to business, Mr. Briley?
I was expecting a bloke. What's she doing here?
I'm sure Miss Weeks will represent you adequately.
I want a proper brief. Not some bit of skirt that's got a few A-levels and talks with a toffee in her mouth.
Don't leave the room.
I wish to interview my client alone.
If you want to interview your client alone, you may do so if and when he gets bail. But while you're in this station, Miss Weeks, you are my responsibility, and no way am I going to leave you alone with a man suspected of assaults on women. Stay where you are, Carver.
I would like to see my client alone. Do you deny me that legal privilege?
Stand outside the door, Carver. The open door.
Oh, and maybe something to eat.
Thank you, Alec. Yes, of course. Could you arrange your meal?
You can use the
for the
inspector's
tour?
room.
Cheers. Disturbed.
Inspector Plummer has a cereal at the football, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes. At about that time, Shaw booked a pan road. So did Smith. Smith had a passenger, P.C. Edwards. It could be officers from another division crept onto the manor.
Another area, maybe. Another force, even? No. In our experience, the chances of that are very unlikely.
You know the funny firm's here?
What funny firm?
There's only one funny firm.
Oh, that funny firm.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about, Ted?
Oh, those cunning bastards from the yard. What's wrong with you?
Did you get that?
The sample? Yeah, sure.
Didn't have to chop his finger off to get it, then?
No, he gave it to me just like that.
This could make all the difference between a conviction and an acquittal.
Mind you, I did hate playing the good guy. You know the CIB are here?
Yeah, what for, do you know?
Something to do with Bob Cryer's relief.
Send this by hand to the lab, straight away. With their laser, they should be able to mash it up with a muck on Mrs. Derwin's sweater.
On my jacket pocket.
Haven't messed it up, have you, Roach?
No, I was only joking.
I've no chance on the promotion ladder, not with graduates like Kite about. Oh, what's this distress break stamp? Don't leave those copies there. Oh, should take correspondence.
Not there either, please. How does anyone expect me to read this writing?
Oh,
no!
Oh, quick, pull the plug out the back!
It wasn't my fault. I've lost it. I've lost everything.
You Burke. We have to start somewhere. Logically, your panda crews must be prime suspects, sir.
And Inspector Kite can release the rest of the officers.
No, not just yet.
Oh, you don't need them. Surely you said so yourself.
They may be material witnesses.
Right. Well, I'll be at home if you need me. Unless, of course, you think that I'm a material witness.
I don't think that'll be necessary, sir.
Keep me informed of things, will you? Certainly, sir.
What if I don't want to go on a parade?
That's a matter for you. There are other alternatives that the police can turn to. But I must warn you, in the end, if you continue to object, you'll be confronted with a victim.
Just her and me?
Face to face.
What do you reckon?
If you're innocent, it doesn't matter.
I am innocent.
Then go for the parade.
You'll be there, won't you? Make sure they don't work any flankers.
You have my assurance the parade will be conducted in a correct manner.
Sergeant Peters, I'll be at home if you... What happened?
Patel smelt burning, sir.
Coffee?
Instant reaction, sir.
If I wasn't so preoccupied with other matters, Sergeant Peters, you'd be in my office explaining to me why you've been allowing refreshments in the CAD room against regulations.
Yes, sir.
Now, if it's at all possible, I'd like to go home and spend what is left of my day off.
Thanks, lads.
My office is downstairs. If I have a sergeant bringing the officers one at a time.
Hello, Sam.
Blimey, Roy Galloway!
You've been keeping yourself, you old bug, a long time.
Too long.
You're not still with a funny firm, are you?
Yeah, for my sins.
I thought you'd retired.
Counting the days.
What you doing here, then?
Well, it's one of those silly ones. Look, Roy, I must go. We'll talk later, okay?
Yeah, sure. No funny business, Sam. Got a good bunch of lads here, the best.
You know me, Roy.
That's what I'm afraid of. I need you for an ID this afternoon.
I'm sorry.
But you've got no choice. Plumbers at the football and there's no other inspector to take your place. I'm terribly sorry. I'll see you downstairs in the canteen.
Yeah, we'll talk later, Roy, okay?
Sure. Drop in my office when you're finished. All right? Bye. Cheers.
Yeah. Right. Yep. I want to see everyone.
What's it all about, for Christ's sake?
Why don't they just tell us?
Hasn't Kite told you anything, Bob?
Oh, we play it right down the line.
I'll give them a mouthful if they take liberties with me.
All right, all right. Don't let it get out of hand.
Pardon? You what?
Will you take that bloody thing off when I'm talking to you? Right, Tom, I want everyone in the recreation room.
What's wrong with staying here?
You don't want to get involved in an identification parade, do you?
Not really.
Right. No telephone calls, no contact with anyone else. Understand?
Right, Sarge.
Right. You're first, Smith.
Forward. Well?
Yes, he agrees to an identification parade.
Good.
I want to change your clothing for him. He can't go in a parade in a boiler suit.
Sure. All he's got to do is give us his correct address and we can go around and pick it up.
You've got his address, haven't you?
You mean his mum's address?
Yes.
Well, he's having you on. He hasn't lived there for yonks. It's Inspector Kite. Miss,
Janet Weeks.
How do you do, Weeks?
Yeah, come in.
In you go, Yorkie.
Let's sit down. Be with you in a minute.
Inspector Kite will conduct the parade. You've no objection to it being held here?
No. Plenty of room, light.
Mrs. Derwin's attacker was wearing a bobble hat at the time.
I'm borrowing 12 from Claire's wool shop. Right, that's great then.
It'll probably take time to bring in enough suitable people for the parade, Miss Weeks.
Yeah, well, we usually have an arrangement with a local sweet factory, but unfortunately I don't work on Saturdays.
You don't have too many public-spirited persons in this part of the world.
Not that you notice, love.
If that reports to be the time, then surely that's incorrect.
Yeah, well, it's obviously an inaccuracy.
Description fits.
Well, oh, Bennett. Right. Yorkie Smith, is that correct?
Tony Smith. I was christened Tony.
Well, Tony, What are we going to do about Mr. Roberts' money?
Money? What money?
Don't tell me you haven't been discussing this business with your colleagues.
I've been discussing nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Turn out your pockets, Yorkie.
Why?
I want to see what you've got in your pockets.
Why are you treating me this way?
All I'm asking is for you to turn out your pockets.
I haven't done anything, you know.
You did have a police panda out this morning, didn't you?
Yes.
Who was your passenger?
PC Edwards. There's £20 in there. £20 of mine. I got £50 out of the bank yesterday. There's £18 at home. I spent about a tenner last night in the pub. There's a couple of quid there. Now, will you please tell me what this is all about?
Tell me, when PC Edwards was your passenger, did you at any time cross onto 7 beat?
I've got to cross 7 beat to get to my own beat.
Did you stop on 7 beat?
No.
Edwards will verify this.
Yes.
You know, I've been in this game a long time, Tony. Some would say too long, isn't that right, Leslie?
Right, sir.
And over the years, I've developed this uncanny knack of knowing if someone's not telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth.
I'd like you to stand outside, Tony. I don't want you to talk to anyone, understand? I shall want to see you again. Put me through the recreation room, please.
Don't be under any misapprehension. These people are here to investigate you. Just like any villain off the street. I'm not going to pull any punches. So I want you to go over everything you've done today. Every call you went to, everyone you spoke to. Yes. Taff.
Well, I've got nothing to hide.
Okay.
Come in. PC Edwards, isn't it? No,
Sir.
Sergeant. Sit down, there's a good chap. Sergeant, I'd like you to place PC Smith in another room. He's not to talk to anyone or use the telephone, all right? Oh, and Sergeant. Take these away and bury them.
Sir.
Come on, Yorkie.
You were a passenger in a Panda driven by Smith this morning.
Yes, sir.
You stopped on 7 beat.
7 beat?
7 beat.
No, I don't think so, sir.
Do you remember a motorist who parked his car on a double yellow line?
No, we didn't stop on 7 beat.
Just now you said I don't think so. You weren't sure.
I'm sure we didn't.
What were you doing in the Panda?
I had breakfast in the canteen and then PC Smith dropped me back on my beat.
Empty your pockets under the desk.
All right, what's going on?
Do you mind? That's private.
You worried about something?
No, of course not.
Then you won't mind.
Look, if you suspect me of a crime, you should caution me.
I've been in this job too long to play games, Edwards. When I have evidence which would afford me reasonable grounds for suspecting you of committing an offence, you'll know it, lad, believe me.
Medical appointment?
Yes, sir.
For this afternoon?
Yes.
St Mary's Clinic. Let me see. Is that one that specialises in venereal diseases?
Dipped your wick in a wrong un, did you, lad?
How many more times do I have to tell you? I live with me mum. Whose side you on, anyway?
I'm looking after your best interests, Mr. Briley. There may be a question of bail. I may have to satisfy someone in authority that you have a permanent address.
I live with my mum.
Carver, you went to his mum's address, didn't you?
And none of his personal belongings there, sir. No clothing, nothing.
It's because I ain't got nothing.
What clothing have you got on under the boiler suit?
My worldly goods. Satisfied?
I'll leave you alone to talk with your client, shall I?
Could be a consenting adult's job, sir. Perhaps we made a mistake about this.
Look, for your information, I have a girl back home. Anyway, that's personal. Nothing to do with you.
I wonder if she knows about your indiscretion.
I've done nothing to be ashamed of.
What you do in your spare time, Edwards, is a matter for you.
It's merely an infection.
Just so long as you don't bring discredit on the force, that's my only interest.
Oh, thrush.
Now then, P.C. Edwards, do you have any money problems?
Haven't we all, sir?
You're not helping yourself.
Not helping myself. What am I supposed to have done?
For the last time, Edwards, did you or did you not have occasion to question a motorist about parking on a yellow line?
No, sir.
A double yellow line.
I did not.
You going somewhere nice?
If I can get someone to look after
We
Dad.
had some idea what it's about.
Have you got any relations that could take the old chap in for a couple of weeks? Give you a break?
Oh, yeah, I've got relations, all right.
Well, they don't want to know.
If it wasn't for cards at Christmas, I wouldn't even know they existed.
You've got to break free, June. You've been old maid before you realise it.
I've made up my mind. It's time I'm going.
Good.
Hey, I've just heard.
Go away, Hollis.
Lose yourself.
Now, look, hold on, you might need my help.
That would be scraping the barrel.
Remember, I am your Federation rep.
I'll give you 2 seconds
Why don't you
to get out
represent
of here.
us?
Hollis?
Yeah, why not?
Go and see the Chief Super.
Hollis?
Tell him that these people from the yard are taking liberties.
No, don't tell him that. He'd be silly enough to go and do it.
Listen, brothers, if you've got a genuine grievance, I'm not frightened to put your case.
Right, for the last time, Hollis.
But Sarge.
Nick, your turn.
What do you mean? They can't find anyone to go on the parade?
Be reasonable, Roy.
Reasonable? It's 4:30. What have they been doing out there?
It's a near-nigh impossible task on a Saturday afternoon to find volunteers. You know that.
Why does it matter if you're telling me it's Saturday?
What about Carver?
Hang on a minute. I suggest we adjourn the parade until Monday. What? And give that brief downstairs a satisfaction of knowing we're incapable of organising an ID?
You want a parade? You let Mike and me have a van and a driver for half an hour. Just half an hour. That's all I need.
Well, if they think they can do better than the uniform officers, why not?
Now, what do you want?
About Carver, I just want to know how long you're going to be using him.
Nick. Good name for a copper.
Very appropriate.
You know, sir, if he'd been born Rick, he might have been running around Hong Kong pulling one of those pram things.
Probably heard that before, Nick, many times.
Yes, sir. Many times.
Not nervous of us, are you, lad?
No.
Sure?
Sweaty palms?
No.
£0.50 and 6pence.
You had a police panda out this morning.
Yeah, I got an alarm bell call from Derry Street.
Did you drive across 7 Beat?
Yeah, well, my beat.
That's interesting.
Any other cars go to the call?
No. I was in the station when the call came in. I took the spare panda.
What time was that?
9:15, 9:30. If you let me use the phone, I can soon check.
You were the only one who went to the call?
No, WPC Ackland was there when I arrived.
Then what happened?
False alarm, so returned to the station.
And Ackland?
I'll get a lift back to the Nick at the station.
You carried a passenger.
Yeah?
Roy? Here you got trouble. Yeah. A couple of enterprising coppers want to make the Duke of Edinburgh's award. The old funny on the spot gag went out with the miniskirt.
Yeah, well, the miniskirt's back in fashion. Look, what do you know about this Fairfax?
Sam Fairfax? Did a spellman on the squad many years ago. One of the most bent coppers I've known.
Bent?
Sam the fit-up man, that's what the villains used to call him. Neck 'em and fleece 'em, that was his motto.
Well, how did he get posted to the Complaints Bureau?
Matthew at the yard, early warning system, if you like. One of the men on the inside. Here, you haven't seen my cigars, have you?
Oh, camaraderie. No.
Where the hell have I put them?
What's this down here? I don't suppose you could have a word, could you?
Oh, hello. I really detest the man, Bob. Besides, the word is he's converted. Seen the light. That's what I reckon.
Born again hypocrite. God, that's all I need.
Huh. What's the matter? Pressure? Don't let them get you.
Yeah, it's easy of you to say that.
To me, it reads like Fairfax is protecting his pension. That's got to be in your favour, because he won't want to retire making waves. You've got no problems.
You know that any passenger carried in a police vehicle should be recorded. Why isn't WPC Ackland's name in Book 66?
I forgot.
Very convenient. You're in trouble, lad. You know that?
How am I in trouble? I haven't done anything.
What do you think, Sergeant?
Possibly a discipline offence. I'd be inclined to throw the book at him myself.
What are you trying to do to me?
I'd be prepared to overlook a few misdemeanours if I had some help from you, Nick.
I'm sure it would sway the balance.
I don't know what you're on about.
Was it Ackland's idea to find the motorist?
Nobody fined anybody.
Oh, perhaps you were a passive partner in the affair.
Come on, Nick. Tell us all about it.
You can both go to hell.
All right, pull in. Come on, quick. Come on, man.
I'm not getting in. I'm not. Come on, get in.
Now listen and listen good. In my book, there are two kinds of policemen, those who treat it as a job and those who treat it as a business. And I want to know which category you're in, Mr. Shaw.
You're wasting the jacks up our way, you lot. What are you nicking us for?
Yeah, you've got to tell us.
Yeah.
Who said you were being nicked?
You want to earn some beer money, didn't you?
Oh. Cheery me.
How'd you play patience?
Come on, give you a go. Fancy yourself, huh?
What the hell?
What's your game?
I never did it. It was a long time ago.
What was a long time ago?
I never touched a penny of it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Roy. If I get this Sergeant Bolton
You
on
want
the
to get that liquid fertiliser on them mushrooms, Bob? Keep them in the dark, that'll do the trick. Yes, Brian?
I now have a parade together, Roy, thanks to Roach. He must be endowed with some kind of charm I failed to notice before.
A man of many talents.
Besides which, he's arrested a football supporter whilst on warrant for aggravated burglary in Liverpool.
What can I say?
Take your time. Don't feel any pressure to rush. And if you're not satisfied with the makeup of the parade, raise your objections immediately.
Has he completed part 2 of the form yet?
Yes, Inspector.
His address?
I live with my mum.
He's sticking to that, is he?
Yes.
Shall we proceed then?
All right,
Take one, all right. Stop messing around.
Look at this. Bill Wolf, mate. Bill Wolf.
All right, funny. Has everybody got one?
Come in.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, come in, Sergeant. Close the door.
Yes.
Never, Sergeant, in my service have I taken so much lip from a young PC.
Sure. Shaw's professional behaviour is in question.
I know Shaw. He's never been cheeky. He's a hard-working and outstanding officer. And I stake my life on his honesty.
And you better have a private word with him, Sergeant. I'm here to investigate a crime, and while I discharge that duty, I don't expect to be told to go to hell by some young PC still wet behind the ears.
I will point out, sir, there are some areas of discipline regulations that are relevant here.
Take Shaw away and have a word with him, Sergeant. I want a full statement of everything he's done during his tour of duty this morning. And in the meantime, I want to see WPC Ackland.
Sir. Collator? Yeah, who am I speaking to, please? Well, I'm afraid you've come through the wrong extension if you want to make a complaint, Mr. Lennon. You've just been fined £30 for parking on a yellow line? Yeah, where are you speaking from, Mr. Lennon?
If you have an objection to any person on the parade, say so.
The third man from the right. No offence, but I think he's much too tall.
Thank you, we won't be needing you. Miss Weeks, would you like to pick somebody else?
You with the black hat. Yes, you.
Will you join the parade, please, sir? You can select your own position. Now? Yes. Constable, can you hand out these numbers, please? Are you moving along? Shuffle up, come on. Try and keep in a straight line. Now, put the numbers down in front of your feet.
Now, Hollis, what's all this about? Right, well, a member of the public just rang in, and Mr. Leonard. He's just been fined £30 on the spot for parking on a yellow line by a panda crew.
Where?
Cassian Street. The officers went away, but they're back there again now.
They've come back?
Yeah, they're parked up somewhere opposite Cassian Street. Mr. Leonard's watching them from the tobacconist, you know, Belmont's place.
You all right, mate?
Yeah. See you later.
All right. Come in. WPC Ackland. Thank you, Sergeant. Sit down, Miss Ackland. Right, I'll come straight to the point, Miss Ackland.
You're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so, but what you say may be put in writing and given in evidence.
Well, forgive me if I'm wrong, sir, but shouldn't you tell me exactly what you suspect me of?
In time, Miss Ackland. In time.
Sarge, I don't believe what they're saying. They are evil and they're on our side.
Right, calm down.
They accuse me of being a liar. A coward not to face up to responsibilities.
Responsibilities?
To guard the good name of the force. You gotta speak out, they said. Fairfax wanted me to point the finger at June Ackland and she hadn't even done anything. If anything, it was my fault.
What are you talking about, your fault? What have you done, for Christ's sake?
I forgot to record her name in vehicle logbook as a passenger in Panda.
You plonker. You really had me worried. Don't you realise they're conning you? They can't do you for that.
They scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what day it was.
I've had enough. I'm going.
I don't blame you.
Sit down, Viv. You're not going anywhere.
Right. Sit here for another few hours.
Excuse me, sir. Do you realise you're parked on a yellow line?
I'm sorry, mate. I've only been a couple of minutes.
There's a fixed penalty fee of £40.
£40? £40? You wouldn't settle for...
no cheques. Cash only, I'm afraid.
Well, will this do nicely, sir?
All right, now.
Where the hell did they get this from?
Empty your handbag onto the desk. Turn it right up. Any pockets? What's this?
Well, those numbers and prices are from a travel brochure.
Misuse of official paper.
Property of the Metropolitan Police.
Yes.
Crete. Antigua.
Self-catering.
Nevertheless, expensive.
It's a long time since I've had a holiday. What are you suggesting?
We'll come back to that in a moment, Miss Ackland.
You're grasping at straws, aren't you?
Tell me, Miss
You are
Ackland.
completely on the wrong
PC
track.
Shaw,
whatever
is he
this
going away on
nonsense
holiday with you?
You think it amusing?
Yes, it's very amusing.
Would you find being charged with theft amusing, Miss Ackland?
Numbers down, please.
God, I didn't know her face was marked. Wasn't in the statement.
You were too busy trying to find loopholes in the identification.
No need to be afraid, Mr. Derwin. Now, I must point out that the person who attacked you may or may not be in the parade. So I want you to walk along the parade. Take your time. Don't be nervous. Nobody's going to hurt you, Mrs. Derwin. If there's someone you recognize, just tell me.
You see, it's so easy to put £40 in your pocket. I suppose there's always the risk someone might see you.
Remember you?
Look, for the last time, I never stopped a motorist on a double yellow line, and I have never, ever taken money in my life.
Is the person who attacked you on the parade, Mrs. Derwin?
I think so.
Right, if you'd just like to come...
Right, please have another look at them without my glasses.
Any objection? If you recognize your attacker, just tell me the number.
Stop it! It's all right. I think your client's been identified. Could I have a word, please? Yeah. Brian, will you show me this week's up?
Yeah.
Are you all right, love? All right, I'll see you soon, all right?
Now, if you're going to charge me, charge me.
I suppose you think because you're a woman you should receive special treatment.
Talking rubbish.
If that's what you're counting on, let me tell you, Miss Ackland, you'll get no mercy from us.
Oh, and let me tell you, sir, my position is clear. If any of my colleagues have committed a crime, I'd be the first to shop him. Although now, having met you two, I'm not so sure I would turn anybody in.
Particularly Shaw.
Why particularly
How
Shaw?
close is your relationship with Shaw?
There is no relationship with Shaw.
All right, Sam. We're gone. Bogus coppers. It's a mechanic from the police workshop and his girlfriend. Come on, Jim.
That is good news.
I'm not finished yet.
Yes, you have, chummy. I bet you're glad you're retiring soon, aren't you?
Well, it's nice to know I'm leaving the job in such good hands. Not a bad lot of kids there, Roy.
That's what I told you.
The girl in particular. Wouldn't you say so, Leslie?
Yes, sir.
Stood up to the pressure well. You've got a diamond there. Now, you can tell me about those bogus coppers over a bloody big drink.
I thought you might say that.
Here, do you remember that team of robbers we nicked over Chelsea's manor?
What, the ones you stitched up with a stocking mask and the pickaxe handles? Right.
I know, they were good days, that boy.
Have you given Mulvey a custody suit?
Yes, Sarge.
Like a virgin.
Morning, Glenda.
Oh, I love breakfast. Have it in bed, shall we?
No time. The bus will be here in a minute.
When you're out,
Come on, lad. They should be all booted and spurred by now.
A mess in there, Sarge.
Nah, only a mess when there's shit all over the walls. Go on, wake them up. Don't panic. I'll be just outside.
Morning, Mr. Cryer.
Breakfast, Bernie?
What happened to egg on toast?
No, the canteen doesn't open till 8. Prison bus has changed its route. Be here at 7:30 sharp, Bill.
Leading cheap. Might ask the customers.
Sarge.
Yeah, it's still frozen.
Well, stuff it down your trousers for 5 minutes, then.
They don't want any breakfast, Sarge.
Oh. Well, mark it down on their sheet. We don't want the little darlings telling the magistrate we're starving them, do we? It's only all charge room. Oh, yeah. So what time do you think it'll be, then? All right. Thanks for letting us know. Bye. Bus has broken down. Won't be here till 9. It'd be a lot easier. You just line them up and walk them down to the court.
What do you want these put in, Sarge?
Well, try Sotheby's. I don't want them.
But these are evidence, Sarge. You're from Tyson House. That rock last night. Mulvey and Company. We were told at Bridge.
Mr. Cryer. Sorry.
Oh, Mr. Mulvey, yes.
Would you have a size 38?
You see this biscuit, Edwards? One day I shall be able to control its passage through my intestinal tract.
Oh, yeah? Where'd you learn that then, Sarge? New course at Hendon, was it?
Yoga, Edwards. Control of mind and body. Could help you with your exam revision, you know.
Nah, too many biscuits as it is already, Sarge.
Could help you with your job as well. There's a 999 on your screen.
Wellaby Road. Sierra Oscar 294, Sierra Oscar 294 from Sierra Oscar.
Sierra Oscar 294 receiving.
Yeah, Dinesh, Wellaby Road.
Yes.
Break-in reported at number 41. No suspect on the scene, so could you give them a visit, please?
Certainly.
Thank you so much, 294. He's always so bloody polite.
That's because he's not Welsh.
Namaste.
नमस्ते सब ठीक हो जाएगा हम सब कुछ कर लेंगे फिक्र ना करो
तुम हिंदी बोलते हो?
जी हाँ लेकिन सिर्फ थोड़ा थोड़ा आता है
फिर देखो इन लोगों ने हमारे साथ क्या किया?
अरे आप चलो अंदर सब कुछ नष्ट करके रख दिया भगवान इनका नष्ट करे ये सब चारों तरफ रंग रंग फैला दिया कमरे भर में
Well, it ain't bleeding good enough, Mr. Cryer. It's upset our old schedule.
Yeah, it means you can't slip off till 11 instead of 9 as usual.
Bleeding chic! We do all we're supposed to do and more, don't we, Vi? And if you've got any complaints, you can tell Mr. Brownlow.
Yeah, all right.
What is the point of telling us we can get a clear run at the cells from 7:45 if we can't?
Don't know, you asked from your elbow.
All right, all right. You can start on the female cells. I'm sure Glenda won't mind.
Oh, Glenda's in it, see? Hello, Glenda.
Ted, what? Oh, you've come to see Mulvey?
Well, those are my instructions, yeah.
Oh, he's down here. Any news on the other two?
Well, the fractured skull isn't. And they're both sitting up in bed demanding justice. I'm going down to the hospital later on.
Mulvey? Doesn't he want a custody suit?
So it's not, Sarge?
Give him one. He's not stinking the bus out in that thing.
And Detective Sergeant Roach. I hear you had a bit of a night. At Tyson House. Tyson House, the hostel where you and your mate stayed.
Oh, this. It's very nice. But I only take a 38, you see. All my own clothes are 38. Would you know whatever happened to them?
They got covered in blood, Mr. Mulvey. Mostly other people's. Mr. Reardon's and Mr. Stringfellow's?
Who?
Sierra Oscar from 294.
Receiving 294.
The breaking at 41 Wellaby Road seems to be another racist attack. Could you inform CID, please?
Thank you, Dinesh. Will do.
So, you don't remember a Mr. Reardon, or a Mr. Stringfellow, or Tyson House, or drinking a quart of scotch between you?
It's a bugger, isn't it?
Yeah. Because Mr. Palethorpe...
Mr. who?
The warden at Tyson House. He says you all got pissed out of your brains and started chucking chairs at each other. And Mr. Reardon had a suspected fractured skull. Mr. Mulvey,
Do you think they'd let me keep this?
Mr. Mulvey, do you realise you could be charged with attempted murder?
No. I wouldn't want it. Be no bloody use in the rain, would it? I mean, look at it.
Are you from in here, you bleeding animals? If my Kevin made a mess like that, I'd rub his nose in it.
Piss off, you old bag.
Oh, he shut it.
What did you call me? I'll shut this bleeding...
Hollis, pack it in!
I should be a magistrate, not a bleeding cleaner. I'd soon sort these buggers out.
I could use her on the TSG.
Any luck with Mulvey?
No, you can't remember a blind thing. I'll see you later.
Yeah, right.
I haven't got today's paper, have you, so I don't want to check my bingo.
You're a cheat, because I haven't checked my own yet. Come on, get these two moving, will you?
Come on, pull your fingers. Had a chance to study the lay visitors' report yet?
Not yet, sir. This isn't the best time of the morning.
Only they do appreciate a quick response, as you know. I'd rather didn't let things get behind on this one.
Oh, I'll do it in my meal break then, shall I, sir?
Open policing, Bob. We want to put ourselves out a little.
Right, sir. Charge room? Tom, yes. Oh, yeah, he just left about a minute ago. Yeah, I think he's gone to the hospital.
Oh, yes. What, the last of the summer winos? Yeah, all right. No, it'll have to wait until Roy comes in. Like the joke. Cheers.
Here, the news, have you? Viv Martella, she's applied for Bermuda.
Was that for sale, then?
No, the Bermudan police, you know, son.
If you get trampled in the rush.
Well, I don't know so much. No, it's a hotbed of unrest, the Caribbean. No, you wouldn't catch me applying.
It's a pity, Reg. You look stunning in Bermuda shorts.
Bermuda? Yeah. Look, you won't spread it round, will you, Joan? Everybody will take the piss.
Bermuda?
I wanted to tell you, though.
No reason why you should. It's none of my business. You're a free agent.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I am, and you're not, because of your dad. It makes me feel a bit guilty, so I wanted to tell you. Look, it probably won't come to anything anyway. Last time they advertised over here, they got 800 applicants for 12 jobs. I've only sent off for the application forms over.
Yeah, well, you make sure you fill it in. You've got to go for these things when they come up.
Oh, well, that's what I thought. Well, I'll see you at breakfast then.
Yeah, see.
643, 643, receiving, over.
Yeah, 643 receiving.
Thanks very much, love. Stretch your legs for a while if you want, mate. Mr. Reardon.
Who are you?
Detective Sergeant Roach from Sunhill.
Have you taken him yet?
Who's that, Mr. Reardon?
That Irish bastard Mulvey. He's fractured my skull, you know.
No, it's not fractured. The police agent thought it might be, but it's not. Just a couple of cuts and bruises, that's all.
He tried to kill me, the bloody Irish bastard. Them Irish are all murderers at heart.
Yes, that's present company accepted, of course, Mr. Reardon.
I'm not Irish. I was born in Liverpool.
Oh, I see. Well, can you tell me exactly what happened, Mr. Reardon?
He came at me with a bloody axe, didn't he?
You're sure it wasn't a chair?
A chair? He could never do this with a chair. He's an axe man, is Mulvey. Noted for it. Irish bastard.
Well, there's no sign of an axe at the scene of the incident, Mr. Reardon.
Well, he'd hide it, wouldn't he? He always does.
Mr. Palethorpe, the warden, he reckons you were all fighting, all three of you. You, Mr. Mulvey, and Mr. Stringfellow.
He's a bloody liar, then. It was just that Irish bastard, Mulvey.
Well, he reckons that he saw Mr. Stringfellow try to bite your fingers off.
What? Richard could never do a thing like that. He's English. Richard, tell the man what happened.
And this is the Padma Asana, the lotus position. See?
Back's supposed to be straight, isn't it?
It is straight. Now, you've got to try this, Bob. I've felt 1,000 times better since I started. There's bound to be an evening class near you.
I have to be lifted into the missionary position, never mind the loaders.
Now, better health, clearer thinking, peace of mind.
Dirty desk. Go on, up it.
No. No, I'm not one for fads, but this has been a revelation. Listen, if each relief had to do 15 minutes yoga at parade, we'd all be better equipped for the day ahead.
I'll mention it to Inspector Kite.
No, the one I'm trying for at the moment is the star posture.
Sarge, the bus is here.
Yeah? Right.
Keep it up.
Oh, don't.
Right, Mike, I'm off. Right, Gov. Have you circulated that description of our DIY friend?
Yes.
Good. Brief Sergeant Penny. And if anything comes up, drop what you're doing and go for it, all right? And use the CID car.
Yep.
See you late, Carver.
No, I'm not, Gov.
Busy day. Sign in. I'll see you in the yard.
Nanny. Beat ya.
Come on, son, in the van.
Get in there.
So where are we off to then, Gov?
Willoughby Road.
What's there then?
A desecrated shrine.
May we clean up, please?
I'd rather you didn't touch anything, Mr. Singham, until the scenes of crime officer arrives.
When will he arrive?
Well, I can't say for definite.
But it is a terrible thing for the gods to be left so. 3 hours now they have been lying in this mess.
Well, you do what you feel you have to, but please don't throw anything away. Is it all right if we take a look in the garden?
Of course.
It's bloody awful smell in there, Gov.
Easy enough to climb over. Any thoughts, Jim? Apart from the fact you don't like the smell?
I can't help it. The smell of curried incense always makes me heave, Gov, that's all.
Really?
Well, it's obviously the front, isn't it?
Another racist attack?
Yeah. Well, why not?
All that paint and no slogans.
Hey, Gov, do you reckon this is where they sacrifice the goats?
Don't show your ignorance, Carver. Hindus don't believe in killing.
I came as soon as I heard Mr. Singham.
Mrs. Shah, that was very good of you, but everything...
This is Mr. Blanchard from the Gazette, the local paper, you know.
No, please, I have nothing to say. And no pictures, please.
All right, Mr. Singham, no pictures, I promise. But could we just come in and have a look?
There's nothing to see now. Please,
Mr.
go away.
Singham, the publicity can do us nothing but good. The Gazette are on our side.
How about your wife, sir? How does she feel about
You heard what the man said, Kerry. Push off.
Well, Mr. Galloway, any leads? Anything you could tell us to reassure our ethnic readership?
I'll be in touch, Mr. Singham. If you get any trouble from the likes of him, just give us a call. Carver? Sir?
You haven't answered Mr. Blanchard's question.
We're pursuing inquiries, Mrs. Shah.
What inquiries? The same as with all the other attacks in the last month. When are you going to denounce the cowardly white thugs who are making our people's lives a misery?
And I can prove it's the cowardly white thugs that are doing it. Excuse me. Shut the door, Mr. Singham.
Don't just walk away from me, please.
No further comments.
Look, this vicious campaign of violence demands a special priority. How can I guarantee you the peaceful cooperation of our Asian community?
I don't think it's yours to guarantee, Mrs. Shah. Don't. You're not an elected community leader. You're just an employee of the council.
Employed to ensure a fair deal for ethnic minorities.
Come on, Gov.
Look, we've always had a good understanding with individualations in this area. When a racial incident occurs...
Oh, yes, you put it on your wonderful register of racially motivated crime and forget it.
Not every crime against an Asian or a black comes from racial prejudice, I'm afraid.
You just don't want to know, that's all.
Just a little word, Mrs. Shah. Some policemen nowadays are so scared stiff of being accused of being racist, they bend over backwards to prove they're not. They let blacks get away with things no white ever would. So you're doing all right, Mrs. Shah, OK?
They've done this experiment, right? Replacing soft drinks, refined carbohydrates, highly sugared food, all that sort of junk, with fruit juices, wholemeal bread. It led to a 40% reduction in lying, fighting and stealing amongst young police officers. Adolescent delinquents.
Well, now I know where to come for a cheap holiday then.
I bet it was Hollis that started this. Sure him and that creepy old clerk's office tampering with the corers.
I don't know why you're making such a fuss.
Because they've been on at me for weeks now, and I shan't even get the bloody job.
Well, you might. Then it'll be you jetting off to the sun and us stuck here in this wonderful place.
Well, you wouldn't want to go anyway, would you?
So what? If you want the pleasures of life, you've got to put up with a bit of stick.
Gov,
I don't think I like Asians. I don't know, I've tried. When I was on the beat, I used to force myself to talk to them, go into the shops and all that. It's weird. I can handle proper blacks. I mean, I really do like them, but Asians? I don't know. Perhaps it's just the smell.
Yeah. Perhaps it's just a mystery of the East. They're too bloody clever for you. You can't patronise them.
But I don't patronise blacks.
Do what? Straight out of textbook sometimes. This is PC Carver showing ethnic awareness.
But I like them.
What do you mean you like them? Who's them? They're just people. All different, some are likeable, some aren't worth a toss. That's why that Mrs. Sholman gets right up my nose, interfering cow.
I still think you went a bit strong on her, Gov.
She's not out to help anybody, just out for herself. It's all politics.
What if Blanchard were to say...
Stuff Blanchard and the race relations industry. Anyway, they're wrong this time, I know it.
What about me?
What about you?
Do you think I ought to come off this case?
No. On one condition. You buy yourself a new pair of bloody socks.
Excuse me. Would these fit a girl with a 24 waist?
Oh, yes.
Fine.
That's $8.99, please.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Sierra Oscar 5, Sierra Oscar 5 from Sierra Oscar. Paging Mr. Mike Dashwood.
5 receiving, over.
Ah, thought you'd had a thrombo, Mike.
What is it, Taff?
Call from Homestyle DIY in Belburn Road. Your suspect's in if you're quick.
Thanks. You sure that's him?
One of our girls was at Stratford when he did them.
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Well, I hardly like to ask, really. But I bought this wallpaper here some weeks ago to decorate our living room. But unfortunately, my wife's died since then.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry.
She had been ill a long time, but it's still a shock.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, the point is, frankly, my heart's not in decorating anymore. She chose this herself, you see. I'd like to return it.
Yes, of course. Do you have the receipt?
I'm afraid not. No. I've looked everywhere, but...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
I'm a police officer. Wonder if we could have a little chat.
What about?
Wallpaper? No, I don't think that'll be necessary, sir. Come on.
There's been another attack, Mr. Radhakrishnan. Willoughby Road. The Singhams, do you know them?
Yes, indeed. I visit their house often. I'm teaching the children Sanskrit. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna. You still will not have it that these are simply racialist attacks.
This morning's doesn't convince me.
I think you are right.
Any particular reason? Other than you don't like Mrs. Shaw any more than I do?
I would not allow that to influence my judgment. I am a Brahmin, Mr. Galloway, a member of the priest class. My life is to worship and to teach. Do you know the other classes in Hindu culture?
What, the caste system? I don't know the names, no, well, apart from the untouchables.
Below the Brahmins come the Kshatriyas, once the rulers and the warriors. Then come the Vaishyas, the traders and craftsmen. At the bottom, above only the so-called untouchables, are the Shudras, the ordinary working people. It's rather like an English system, really. All the recent attacks have two things in common, Mr. Galloway. They're all Shudras, and they have all done well for themselves in this land of equal opportunity, where caste, at least Hindu caste, counts for nothing. Others have been less fortunate despite their greater ritual purity. A sense of injustice is not uncommon.
So you were saying these attacks could have been committed by other Hindus out of spite?
There are always those who cannot accept that the rules have changed.
Do you have somebody in mind?
No, I just suggest it as a line of inquiry. I must continue my worship now.
Oh, right. Well, thank you very much. You carry on with what you're doing, and
May the goddess Lakshmi bring you good fortune.
thank you. Oh, Jim. Seems all we need to find is a religious maniac with a grudge. Want to get some slip-ons.
What's wrong with these?
They take too long. Right. 5 victims, all with 2 things in common. Maybe they got a third. Someone they've sacked, come up against offended, someone from a higher caste.
No, you don't think they really take all that crap seriously, do you, Gov?
I'm beginning to get disappointed in you. I don't suppose you like Indian food at all, do you?
I hate it.
Good, well, you can do the free restaurants then.
What?
And while you're doing that, I'll revisit the Singhams and Mr. Dosh's corner shop. I'll drop you off and, with any luck, you should just be in time to catch them cleaning out the kitchens.
I told him my wife had died. I always tell them that.
Mr. Lane admits obtaining money from 2 other DIY stores in this way today, and on 20 other occasions during the past 3 months.
Is there anything in what the officer says that you disagree with, sir?
No, I don't think so. It was a very accurate account of events.
Right, Mr. Lane, before we go any further, I have to tell you your rights. You have the right, 1, to have someone informed of your arrest. 2, consult a solicitor. 3, consult a copy of the codes of practice. Right, that's the rules that we have to follow while you're in detention. You may do any of these things now, but if you do not, you may still do so later. Do you understand?
Yes, I think so.
Right, that's for you to keep. There's more details on the back.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now, regarding item 1, informing someone of your arrest, pardon me for saying so, sir, but is your wife really dead?
No, but I will be when she finds out.
So you don't want us to inform her?
No, thank you. If that's in order.
Oh, no, it's entirely up to you, sir. Entirely up to you.
All right, if I...
Any previous?
Nothing.
All right, cheers.
Thanks a lot. See you later.
Yeah, bye.
Goodbye.
Right, Mr. Lane. Now you're a... Oh, hello, mate. Yes, it's cell number 4. Someone stuffed a pack of sandwiches down the bowl. And could you look at cell number 1 while you're in there as well? Right, Mr. Lane, your address.
This is a 3-minute warning. Betty's coming.
Oh, shit. What bloody hell for?
Lobbing bricks at people on a Taisley Road building site. Smith and Shaw got a call.
What's the matter with these people? How many times do I have to tell them to leave the poor old cow alone?
Yeah, well, give us a shout if you need a hand.
Trouble. Am I going to be in the way?
No, nothing you worry about, Mr. Lane. Cheers.
Just open it, bloody door.
Letty! Letty! Call it! Come on! Calm down. Come on now, eh?
What have you done with the bleeding door?
He hasn't done anything with the door. Come on.
Oh, I thought he had.
That's
Liar!
Melvin! They're in the cell.
I'm not going in the cell.
Come on,
Come on, Betty, come on. Come on. Go, Betty, get off. They're in that bloody cell. Come on, Jane. I don't want to go in the cell. Come on, Betty. I'm not going. This isn't our house.
Right, Nick. Huh?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Teach you to bring her in here, won't it? Come on.
I'm all right.
Right, slowly. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, sit down here. Let's have a look. Put your head back. You'll be all right. Yeah. Haven't got a tissue.
Excuse me, would you like to...
Thank you. Yeah, right. Yeah, just keep your hand on that. Stop your brains leaking out. Then get yourself to casualty. Melvin, make this man a cup of tea. And you better go out and find me some more, hadn't you?
Sorry, sir.
Charge room. No, Alec.
I'll see you in an hour or so, Bob. If you've got a lull, you could look at that report now.
Excuse me. Where it says about consulting a solicitor, what would you do in my place?
The sea's an incredible blue, and there's all this pink coral. The only minor problem is that once your 5-year contract's up, you really have to be married to a Bermudan if you want to be sure of staying on. And of course, no one ever wants to come back. Oh, are you going for your holidays this year, June?
Hastings.
What, again?
Well, Dad likes it.
Apparently, in the Bermudan police force, you get a chance to travel all over, you know. The rest of the Caribbean, the States.
Apparently, it's about time you shut up about bloody Bermuda, apparently.
All right. You did say you didn't mind.
I don't mind, just don't keep rubbing my nose in it, that's all.
You come round and spend a few bob, you need the money.
Him again.
All right, darling. Right, Mr. Bear, you were warned about this yesterday. You're causing an obstruction.
Hello, darling.
Come on, take your head off.
Come. I'm a bear. My head don't come off.
Take it off.
All right, don't get out your plan. Not in front of kids, eh? Come on, back in the market.
No, you're not going anywhere. You're nicked. Viv, call up the van.
What have I done then? Come on.
You're causing an obstruction.
What obstruction? They love it, don't you?
Yeah, go on, mate, you tell her.
Hey, I'm not wanting to.
Are you going to take that off, or are we going to pull it off?
Name?
Fredbear. Straight up, B-A-E-R. Like Max, famous boxer. It's the name will give me the idea, like. Look.
Right, Mr. Bear. The charge is, on Tuesday, the 26th of May, 1987, at Farson Road, East 1, you did, without lawful authority or excuse, willfully obstruct the free passage along a highway contrary to Section 137/1 of the Highways Act 1980. Furthermore, you did, on that date...
Not wanting to be a barrackroom lawyer, but shouldn't you have told him about this?
Of Quite right, mate.
Pardon me, sir. Are you a solicitor?
Oh, no. I'm a prisoner.
Could I have a word, please, Sergeant?
Melvin?
It's terrific.
Sarge, take her there for a minute, will you? Sergeant, that man has been sitting in there for an hour and a half. Why isn't he in a cell? Because I haven't got one to put him in at the moment, sir.
What do you mean you haven't got a cell?
Well, I've got 3 prisoners waiting to be picked up by North Holt plus Mulvey.
For goodness sake, man, we have 8 cells.
Not at the moment, sir, no. 2 of them are US because of the bogs. The plumber's in there fixing them at the moment. That leaves the 2 female cells, one of which is occupied. The other one's got a dodgy lock, which has been reported. So even counting the detention cells, that only leaves 3.
Well, can't you double up the 3 men you're holding for North Holt?
North Holt have asked specifically that they're kept apart, sir.
Well, put him in with Mulvey, then.
Mulvey is being held on an attempted murder, sir. Look, I'm expecting the van from North Holt any minute, sir. And actually, I don't think Mr. Lane wants to escape. Quite the opposite.
You are the custody officer, of course. I leave it to you.
Thank you, sir. Right. Mr. Bear. Is there anyone you wish to inform of your arrest?
Yeah, the RSPCA.
Come on.
Retreat from Moscow, Ted?
Shut up.
This isn't a bleeding doss house, you know. I got Betty here now as well as Mulvey.
Well, don't shout at me, mates. Discharged by the hospital, fit to be detained in custody. They need the beds.
Well, couldn't you dump them back at Tyson House?
Because they tried to murder each other. That's why they were here.
It was that Irish bastard Mulvey.
Will you sit down and be quiet?
Would you have a fag?
No.
Right, let me finish with Paddington here, and then we'll get something sorted out.
Right, put them all in a cell, give them a few chairs and let them finish the job. I'll be back later.
He'd have gone to get us some grub.
You get a commendation for this, Carver.
Thank you, sir.
Any luck?
No, not a lot. Mr. Solkar refused to say anything unless Mrs. Sharp was present. Mr. Srikanth has sacked 2 people in the last 6 months, but he can't remember their names, let alone their caste. And Mr. Vengat, or Mr. Vengataragavan to be precise, well, he's never sacked anyone.
But he has changed his spice man. He used to buy all his speciality dry goods like peppers, herbs, spices from a Mr. Ram Giriraj Agni, importer of Indian foodstuffs, but he doesn't anymore. Neither does Mr. Doshi. Apparently, there's a big new wholesaler's just opened up in Dalston.
Well, so what?
So, Ram is losing business right, left, and centre. He's also living in a flat owned by Mr. Singham's brother, and that's giving him some grief as well.
So he's a bit of an headbanger, is he then, Gov?
What?
Well, Ram, an headbanger.
Get out, Carver.
What?
Go on, piss off back to the Nick.
What?
You're no use to me unless you can grow up. I'll get Dashwood out of you. Go on, out.
Gov, I was only joking.
It's not a joke. You've been behaving like a brat all morning.
Sorry, Gov, I was only mucking about.
Take a walk. Have a think about it.
Sierra Oscar 5, Sierra Oscar 5 from Sierra Oscar. Sierra Oscar 5, Sierra Oscar 5 from Sierra Oscar.
Receiving, Taffy. Go ahead.
Urgent message from Detective Inspector Galloway, Delta 3. Can you meet him at Polden Road near Mintworth Gardens at 12:30 hours? He said that you should be able to do this because you've got sod all else to do. Over.
Thank you, Taffy. Message received.
Sorry I'm late, Gov. That's all right, Mike. Getting used to it.
Where's Carver?
Sulking, I expect. Got a possible lead on these race attacks. Gentleman I want to talk to, well, could be a bit touchy, so nice and easy, yeah? Mrs. Agnew? Is your husband at home, Mrs. Agnew, please?
Yeah.
Mr. Agnew. I want to talk to Mr. Agnew. Do you speak English, sir?
I speak it very well, thank you.
Oh, good. My name is Detective Inspector Galloway from Sunhill Police Station. We were wondering whether you'd be able to help us with a few inquiries we're making.
In connection with?
We've been talking to as many people as we can regarding the recent race attacks on Asian families in the neighbourhood. You may have read about it.
I cannot invite you in. My home is not as I would wish it.
Oh, well, that's all right, sir. If you're not too busy, it'd be more convenient if you could pop down to the station now.
I will inform my wife. You have a car?
Yes, sir.
Good.
You'll love it out there, Viv. They've got this rule, you know, about the length of people's shorts. So you just stop people you see on the street or you fancy and you measure the inside leg.
No, that was done away with yonks ago, actually. You ever tried scuba diving, Yorkie?
Sierra Oscar 148, Sierra Oscar 148 from Sierra Oscar.
148 receiving, over.
Report of a disturbance outside the Star Public House in Holby Street. Can you attend, please?
Will do, Sarge. It's about 2 minutes away.
Doesn't sound too soon.
Come here! You have to take gun noise out! That's what I just thought! We haven't any time! Come here!
Oh, these bloody kids. Who's going to clear this lot up?
You are. You're keen enough to take their money.
Listen, Viv, I'm going to give the lads a hand. I'll pick you up later, all right?
All right. Give the little bastard one from me if you catch him.
Excuse me, can you spare a minute?
What's the matter, love?
I don't know, but there's something at the top of the multi-story. Could you come and have a look?
Well, what is it then?
I'm not sure, but could you come now, please? There, up there, look!
Christ! Sierra Oscar from 227, Sierra Oscar.
Yes, Viv, my love. What can we do for you?
I have what looks like a suicide attempt on Purdham Street, multi-storey. Could I have immediate assistance, please? All services. Purdham Street, right? Hurry, please! Hold on, love! Hold on! No, hold on! Hold on! Hold on, I've got you! Hold on! Hold on! Hold on!
I'm sorry.
Well, we seem to be having a bit of a change of heart at this end at the moment, Mr. Palethorpe. Yes, to the tune that it was all an accident. Yes, so it's really up to you. Yes, as usual. I mean, if they're going to swear blind now that they tripped over each other in the dark, there's not a lot we can do about it, is there? Unless, of course, you've got other witnesses around the place that you could bring in.
Oh, right, cheers. Oh, well, Mr. Bear. 10 previous convictions, eh? And 3 failing to appears. And you'll still expect bail, I suppose.
Well, it's cruel to cage animals, isn't it? Anyway, Suit's due back tomorrow. I'll lose my deposit.
Would you like to see the list of local solicitors?
Mr. Lane, will you please be quiet?
All clear, Chief.
Oh, good man. Cheers.
Come on, lads.
Melvin, go and ask Sergeant Peters to come in here, will you please, and give me a hand for a minute.
He can't, Sarge. He's gone to a suicide.
Come on now, folks. Move along. Thank you, sir. I'd like to move along. Off you go home. Thank you, sir. Move along now. Nothing to see.
Viv?
Right, Mrs. Carver. Side there, please.
Couple of wounded soldiers for me?
Oh, yes, Doctor. Those two sitting over there by the door, injured while resisting arrest.
Could we have him in the surgeon's room?
Yeah, of course. Smith, take those two to the surgeon's room, please.
Mr. Cryer, sorry.
If you're still here?
Yeah. You wouldn't have a couple more of these suits going spare, like, would you?
As I said, Mrs. Palmer, don't worry too much. It'll probably come down to drunk and disorderly when we find out who did what to who. In that case, Philip won't have to go to court. He will be cautioned here. But either way, we'll let you know.
And won't we have his property back?
Property? What property?
His clothes.
Melvin! Will you find Mr. Mulvey's clothes if they're not in the dustbin? Right? Right, thank you. Next! How old are you, son?
16. How old are you?
Does your wife clean the lavatory, Inspector?
No. Not anymore.
And does she kneel to remove your children's shoes? Shoes that are often soiled with oil and dog's dirt? Mine does. If her father in India could see the shame of her existence, he would send men armed with swords to kill me.
You're a member of the Kshatriya caste, aren't you, Mr. Agnew?
The rulers and warriors, yes, I was born so. But here, bad enough to live as a Vaisya, buying and selling, dealing day by day with people who are not fit to touch my sleeve, but to be spurned by them, to be turned away by Vaisyas, Shudras, to be dependent for a roof over my family's head.
Did you smash up the Doshi's car, Mr. Agnew?
I have no car now. What right have they to a car?
And the Singhams?
They demand the rent on behalf of the landlord. Demand!
But the shrine. I mean, if you're a Hindu...
If they are true gods, why do they not help me? All these years of praying, of seeking the right way. For what? All around me, the scum of India rise and prosper while I sink. Is that the will of a just God? Or one that is worthless? Fit only to be cast away and trampled? A lie! Of course, if they are true gods, I shall never attain my release.
No, you can't have a bloody lift now. Get out!
Oh yeah, two young lads running the surgeon's room. Thanks.
Hold it! Hold it, all right, that's enough. Come on.
Oh, wait! Oh, gently, don't tear the suit. Don't tear the
Patience, you do.
I'm sorry, Gov. I've behaved like a prat, what can I say?
How about I buy you a curry? No? All right, I'll settle for a beer.
Thanks. The surgeon's here if you want to see him.
She was staring at me. Staring up as she fell. Yorkie could have saved her. Or Nick. Or Taff. Even Reg.
Viv, she didn't want to be saved.
How do you know? That guy in the bear suit today. How could we have handled him if Yorkie hadn't arrived? And those kids outside the pub. One kick and that was me finished. And then That woman's face. And I'm getting paid as much as the blokes.
You'd rather go back to the good old days, would you? Huh? Lost kids, women shoplifters, bit of traffic duty, everybody's favourite aunt.
Wouldn't you? I'm not helping anyone anymore. Oh.
Hey, roll on Bermuda, huh?
No chance.
All these are local people, and you have to get one of them because it's a really good place.
Mr. Lane. I'm going to have to give you bail, Mr. Lane. Run out of cells.
Oh. Well, another time, perhaps?
Well, you could always jump bail. Then we'd have to issue a warrant for your arrest.
Oh, yes.
I was only joking, of course. Charge room. Yeah, I've got him in here. Right, send him through. Excuse me a minute.
Of course. You just carry on.
We thought we needed to lie down a bit, sir.
You all right? Where is he then?
Oh, God, he's dear old Dad.
You little pisshead.
If you would just like to sign there, please. This is your stuff. So, 1 digital watch, 2 silver rings, 1 silver chain and medallion, and 85 pence.
85 pence? Is that all you got left out of your gyro, you twat?
How much a week do you piss up the wall then, eh?
Don't you speak to your father like that.
Listen, it's my money. I'll spend it on what I like, so up yours.
If you'd just like to sign for that, please.
Yeah.
Mr. Fox, there you are, that's yours.
Right, how'd you get out of
Cheers.
here? Well, Ellison. Sick and tired of wasting fucking time here.
You do see life, don't you, Sergeant?